Streaming.
Yeah, so after I mentioned a cold night here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, scene of a top 25 matchup between the Michigan Wolverines and the Northwestern Wildcats. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to WCBN's coverage of Michigan basketball. I'm Amer Betkas alongside Andy Laidlaw for tonight's matchup, as the Wolverines welcome in their first ranked opponent of the season. It also marks the first ever game between Michigan and Northwestern in which both teams are ranked in the nation's top 25. And Andy, tonight Michigan looks to continue their undefeated season, while a win for Northwestern would move the Wildcats to 4-1 in conference play, marking their first 4-1 start in Big Ten since the 1967-68 season.
Yeah, it's one of those seasons, for Northwestern. They're coming in, and they were projected to be the worst team in the Big Ten. They start off really hot, getting big wins against Ohio State and Michigan State, and all of a sudden, Northwestern's got themselves a ranking in the top 25 in the AP and coaches poll in college basketball. This is a really good team with a lot of really, really good talent on the roster. You got to look at the key guy here. And my big matchup I'm looking at today is Pete Nance versus Hunter Dickinson. Pete Nance has been very effective. In the game against Michigan State, he was easily the key factor that propelled Northwestern to that victory. So how is he going to do defensively against Hunter Dickinson? And if he does shut him down, can there be other players on Michigan stepping up and taking over that scoring role?
Yeah, this Northwestern team definitely a surprise, happy story, not only in the Big Ten, but in the country, as they make their way into the top 25 for the first time since 2017. And last week, they hung with Iowa for a while. They were able to shut down Luka Garza, but that opened up the play for the rest of the Iowa Hawkeyes, and they propelled. But for Michigan tonight, it's definitely going to be big man Hunter Dickinson, coming off a career performance at Maryland, which was a revenge game for him. Maryland did not recruit him, and he went to high school just down the road. So we'll see tonight what can happen, because the Northwestern Wildcats can definitely shut down the big man. So you got to see players like Isaiah Livers, Franz Wagner, Eli Brooks, Mike Smith step up to open up that lane for Hunter Dickinson to get going.
Yeah, that's going to be the key factor. I mean, we've seen Livers and we've seen Dickinson. Obviously, we've seen Livers and Wagner. Even Mike Smith in the last game at 16 points. We're starting to see the Wolverines and their players really, really starting to kind of take over scoring roles. I mean, Franz Wagner start the year off was not an efficient scorer at all. And now as the season's gone on, he's gotten better and better. He's dropped double digits in the last 2 games. So again, Michigan scoring-wise, I don't have a problem. We got to see how they do defensively.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visitors wearing their away purple uniforms with a black stripe on the side. Boo Buie, Chase Audige, Miller Kopp, Pete Nance, and Robbie Barron. The Wildcats are coached by Chris Collins in his 8th season at Northwestern. Now on to the Wolverines wearing their home whites. The starting 5 for Michigan: Mike Smith, Franz Wagner, Eli Brooks, Isaiah Livers, Hunter Dickinson. Michigan is led by second-year head coach Juwan Howard. And tonight, definitely 2 key players to keep an eye on. Coming off career performances for Northwestern, junior Pete Nance dropped a career-high 21 points on 9 of 15 shooting, including 3 of 4 from the three-point line at Iowa. On the other side, Michigan, their big man Hunter Dickinson, also coming off a career performance where he dropped 26 points at Maryland.
Yeah, a Maryland basketball team that did not recruit Hunter Dickinson. That was kind of his drive. That was his drive going into that ball game, going up against a team from his area, from the same state that he played in, and did not get recruited by that team. And boy, did he make them pay. Showed them exactly why they should have recruited him. I'm ready for this game. This is going to be Michigan's. I thought Maryland was their hardest test to date. Maryland, a good basketball team that whooped down Wisconsin in Madison. Now Michigan finally gets to play a ranked team that's beating a couple really, really good teams. So I'm really excited for this one. I'm going to see Wolverines what they can do if Hunter Dickinson is limited, like Nance has done to many of the following bigs that he's played against.
Definitely a statement game for either team. Northwestern, as they make their way back into the AP top 25, and then Michigan also coming off some big road wins. So good one tonight in Chrysler as we welcome back of less than 100 fans tonight.
We got some, baby. We got some. We got plenty of cutouts around here, though. Maze Rage is not looking the same way it usually does, but there's definitely more cutouts this game than there was last time when I was here against Oakland.
2021, baby. Happy New Year's.
Here we go.
Opening tip is won by the Northwestern Wildcats, controlled by Boo Buie. Guarded by Eli Brooks at the top of the key. Finds Barron at the top of the three-point line, and we got a foul. Northwestern foul. Looks like it's going to be on Kopp. His first, team first. First turnover for Northwestern, which really hurt them at Iowa last week.
Yeah, and they were really competitive in that game. You know, Iowa's at the beginning of the years, you know, them in Illinois have been the clear-cut favorites to win the Big Ten, and Northwest hung tough with them. They really stopped Luka.
Mike Smith tries to find Hunter Dickinson on the pick and roll, but he just floats it a little over top. So to start off, we got 2 turnovers for both sides.
A lot of length on the court for both teams today.
Buie once again with the ball, finds Barron behind the arc. He throws it up, off iron, rebound by Franz Wagner. Franz brings the ball up, looking for a wide open man, finds Livers in the corner, who throws in a Dickinson on the post, double teamed back to Livers, out to Eli. Good ball movement by the Wolverines. Find Mike Smith in the corner, back to Franz, who's going to test his luck, rims in and out, rebound Northwestern.
Yeah, good couple of defensive possessions here for the Wolverines. Or by the Wildcats, excuse me.
Pete Nance controls the ball now, finds Chase Audish, who's going to pull up for the elbow. A little too much power there.
Boy, this is the first ugly minute for both the Wolverines and the Wildcats offensively. On this prior possession there, Hunter Dickinson had a really nice show on a pick and pop. That, you know, that's kind of his advantage too. He's a good defender, not only in the post but perimeter. He has good show defensive game, and you know he's really starting to edge out all those aspects of his basketball game. Here
goes Livers, tries to drive into the lane but gets stopped. Throws the ball back out to Brooks, finds Dickinson down the post, and another turnover.
Dickinson seeing some early double teams here by Northwestern to get Hunter Dickinson sort of disrupted, and he made one of those passes, sort of like a Matthew Stafford sidearm pass, all the way down with his hip, tried fleeing across the court. It was just a really ugly pass. I think he was going to Livers.
Yeah, he was trying to hit Livers, but more of those like memory type of passes, but he expected Livers to be in the corner. But right back, Northwestern drives down, Chase Audish, who finds Pete Nance on the block, and he gets his first 2 of the night.
Yeah, really nice play there. Really nice play. Get the ball down in the post, the block, and then shed it off the other. Big man getting the big bucket.
Eli Brooks out to Franz. Franz, who tries to find Livers on the pick and roll, and once again, another turnover.
Yeah, Wolverines just look really discombobulated right now. No flow in the offense, not much ball motion. They're just standing still, jumping down to Hunter Dickinson. He gets double teed, makes a bad pass. The ball movement's going to have to improve here. If this game is assigned the first 2 minutes, it's not going to be good for the Wolverines.
Boo Buie out to Barron at the top of the three-point line. Finds Pete Nance down low for the slam.
Again, second time dump off to Nance, and Nance just slams it home. That's a way you start penetrating inside of the Michigan defense. You can just dump it off to Nance like that. Hunter Dickinson's got a lot of block shots so far this year. You know he loves to rim protect. So if he's going to show, keep dumping off to Nance, and you're going to find some success.
17:40 left on the game clock. Northwestern leads 4-0. Mike Smith controls the ball, tries going to the lane, finds Franz in the corner. Franz is going to try one, rims in and out. Rebound Northwestern. Boo Buie tries to bring up some pace. He's going to try 3. In and out. Rebound Dickinson.
Yeah, Franz 0 for 2 right now, and 2 pretty open shots on the perimeter. He's got to start hitting those jumpers if he wants Michigan's offense to be a little better.
Here goes Franz once again to Livers in the corner. Livers tries his 3, rims in and out. Rebound, but we got a foul, offensive foul on Franz Wagner. His first, team second.
Yeah, Michigan's not getting terrible looks on offense. I mean, it's 3 straight possessions where Michigan's had an open shot on the wing, and Franz missed 2, and then Livers just missed a wide open one in the corner as Michigan looks like it's coming out in the full court press with Mike Smith leading the way over Buie.
Buie outbound pass to Chase Audige, break the press, find Pete Nance, who's on the block. He floats one up, and he gets another one.
Pete Nance just has great athleticism. His back to the basket game in the low post is so fluid. It's so smooth. You can just tell he's just a great athlete.
Livers at the top of the perimeter. They go down low to Hunter Dickinson. He gets a hook shot, and here goes Hunter Dickinson getting the first 2 for the Wolverines tonight.
Yep, that's the answer Michigan needed right there. Get the ball down the paint, let Hunter Dickinson do his thing. Even in the game against Nebraska in Lincoln, Hunter Dickinson didn't score much, but he was so disruptive in every other way.
Here goes Robbie Barron at the top of the 3, finds Chase Audige. Once again, back to Pete Nance. Turn and shoot. Pete Nance, that's another one. 8-2 Northwestern, 16:22 left in the first half.
Yeah, Nance off to a hot start. 4 for 4 from the floor. All 8 points coming from Nance himself.
Dickinson down low, out to Livers. Eli Brooks, he fakes a three, finds Franz, top of the perimeter. Franz sinks a three.
There it is. No hesitation there from Franz Wagner. He's had 2 open shots on the perimeter, missed them both. Got the ball on the top of the key right there and shot that ball with confidence, and it finds the bottom of the net. Good possession there from the Wolverines with great ball movement.
That three brings some energy to the Michigan bench as they force a turnover. Mike Smith quick with the possession to bring it back up court. He tries to go coast to coast, layup, and he sinks it.
Real nice, quick. That's Mike Smith is really, really good at that this year. He's been able to get to the lane efficiently, but he's also been so good at dumping it off to Dickinson or dumping it off to Brandon Johns there. That time he didn't need to, had the open lane, his sweet little finger roll there from our boy Mike Smith.
Now Northwestern on the offensive side, ball controlled by Pete Nance, finds Chase Audige, who's going to try to go into the lane, kicks it out, back to Bowie. Bowie goes into the lane. He throws a layup off the rim, rebound by Eli Brooks, and quickly brings the ball up. Now slowed down by Chase Audige. Ball's controlled by Mike Smith. Back out to Franz. Good ball movement by the Wolverines. Eli finds Hunter Dickinson down low. He gets blocked by Pete Nance and loses control, and it is awarded Michigan ball.
I really like that series of events there for Eli Brooks. He had a great possession down there on defense. A really highly contested shot. Shot went off the rim. He got the rebound himself, and he went flying down the court and realized that they had a numbers disadvantage, a 4-on-1 fast break with 4 defenders and 1 offensive player. That was Eli Brooks. So he made the right move. He took the ball back out. He read the offense set up, and got a nice little shot down for Hunter Dickinson, kind of behind the basket, sort of an awkward shot. He had to kind of lean back a little bit, but gets his own offensive rebound, and Michigan gets the ball back. You know, after an 8-2 start there for the Northwestern Wildcats, Wolverines kind of starting to settle right into this game.
Yeah, I think settle would be the correct term. As the Wolverines, they're just trying to force it down low to Hunter Dickinson, and you know, Northwestern had the tough task of playing Iowa in the prior game, and basically the best player in the nation, and they were able to shut down Luka Garza for the most part, but that opened the rest of the players around him. So it looks like Michigan was knocked on their heels for a second as their big man Hunter Dickinson wasn't able to get that flow going, but you know, they were able to get back into this game as right now it's Northwestern leads 8-7, 15 minutes in.
Yeah, it's really interesting so far. Northwestern, I mean, it's 2 consecutive games where they're playing off who I think the most efficient offensive bigs in the Big Ten. Kind of sort of has been Luka Garza, obviously, but Hunter Dickinson, he's not a close second, but he's firmly in that second place position. I don't think overall he's the second best big in the Big Ten. That's something Kofi Coburn, defensively and offensively, is very efficient. But offensive-wise, Hunter Dickinson's really, really, posed his threat as a scoring big man. And Northwestern, again, can Nance step up the way he did against Michigan State? I mean, all Michigan State bigs were neutralized that game. Just absolutely neutralized with Nance's athleticism and lateral quickness. Absolutely killed the Sparties. And then against Iowa, as you were talking about earlier, really it's hard to shut down Luka Garza, but Northwestern slowed him down. That's all you can do against a good Iowa team and a good Luka Garza. You just slow him down, and Nance and Northwestern definitely did that.
Yeah, this Northwestern team is definitely a surprise into the Big Ten this year, but their head coach Chris Collins talked about how last year was a building year for them, and this year he's not surprised by how well this team is playing. He's only surprised of how they're off to a hot start in such a deep Big Ten this year.
Yeah, and especially considering that in the three of the first 4 Big Ten games, you're looking at 2 teams who are probably in the top 3, top 4 of the Big Ten. Michigan State and Iowa. You can argue that Wisconsin and Illinois are probably in that number 1 tier at the beginning of the season. But, they knock off the Sparties pretty handsomely. They go at Iowa and have a really close – I mean, it wasn't a close matchup. They lost by 15. But still, they were competitive for most of that first half.
15 left on the clock. Eli Brooks gets the ball. Franz cuts in. Right-handed layup right out of the timeout. Franz Wagner gets going.
Beautiful baseline play there for the Wolverines. Wagner coming off a double screen and getting a wide-open layup. Just nice job writing that up there for Juwan.
So we had Ryan Young, who checks in for the Northwestern Wildcats for the first time tonight as Chase Audige goes baseline off the backboard. Rebound by Young, and he gets his first points of the night. As Northwestern leads 10-9, 14:30 left in the first half. Eli Brooks controls the ball, finds Mike Smith in the corner, and we got a foul. It looks like on Bowie.
Yeah, nice play there by Mike Smith. As soon as he got the ball in the corner, he didn't hesitate, put the ball right on the ground and caught Bowie out of position. They kind of got a bump from the hip, but definitely a defensive foul there. Really nice job of Mike Smith being aggressive so far in this game. That's kind of early on in the year, especially in the first couple games, he was aggressive, then kind of slowed himself down. Now I think he's playing more of his natural abilities to get to the lane drive and be effective passing and shooting.
20 left on the shot clock. Franz controls the ball. Once again, they try to go down low to Hunter Dickinson on the block, being guarded by Young. Double team comes, finds Franz baseline. Franz being guarded by Ryan Greer, finds Mike Smith in the corner, and he hits it.
Yeah, big shot there by Mike Smith. Sort of a thing that Mike Smith never got to do at Columbia. He was never a set shooter. Everybody was so focused on Mike Smith because he was a 20-point scorer. This year, he can finally set himself up and shoot. He's done a good job so far.
Ryan Young controls the ball at the three-point line. He's one of the only players that can't really shoot the three for these Northwestern Wildcats. Now Anthony Gaines controls the ball back to Ryan Young. Here comes Ty Berry. His first attempt is off the iron. Rebound by Franz Wagner.
Yeah, bad shot by Berry. They're falling away from the basket, flowing from right to left, and really just not a great look.
Eli Brooks with his three, and he sinks a three as he extends Michigan's lead to 5.
Yeah, we were talking about the three-point shooting starting off 0-3, but the last 3 shots are 3 for 3. Big turnaround here from the perimeter shooting for the Michigan Wolverines.
Miller Cup controls the ball, finds Anthony Gaines at the top of the three-point line. Here comes Ty Berry again. He's going to go lane, and it's blocked by Franz.
That was a clean swat. They look like his older brother, Franz Wagner, one of the most effective on-ball, really not even on, you don't have to say on-ball, just overall disrupt defensive players for Michigan. That's the thing that Franz does. He gets in the passing lanes, he blocks passes, blocks shots. He's so disruptive with that length and that athleticism. Great play by Franz there.
Ryan Greer to inbound the ball. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Just has to lob it into the backcourt, and it's going to be controlled by Ryan Young. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Ryan Greer controls the ball. Sets the pick. Ryan Greer tries to pull it from the elbow, but finds Young. Once again, blocked by Franz.
Does not look like they got that off. Young made the shot. Doesn't look like they got it off. Thinking they're going, look at it.
We have some confusion here on the floor as,
you know what they could be calling a jump ball on Franz. No, it looked like it was a clean block. Interested to see what they're going to call here. I think they're going to call a shot clock violation, but I think they're checking it out right now. Again, Young got stuffed by Wagner, got his own rebound, put it back up. It was real close to being a shot clock violation. The ball did go in the hoop, but we'll see what they call here. They're at the monitor right now.
Yeah, at the monitor reviewing that play, and Franz Wagner, 2 huge blocks back to back.
I mean, that one, the first one was just kind of a floater coming right in that he swatted away. That was a tough. Young was going at the basket, looking to slam it home on Franz, and Franz held his ground and absolute stuffed him. I mean, like I said, that is just the advantage you have of being a 6'9", 6'8" athletic wing that has such great length, such great athleticism, and also such great basketball defensive IQ. I mean, he knows where to be. He knows what lanes to defend. He knows if a guy's cutting, you got to put your hand up, contest a shot, and Franz has done an awesome job all season. Really, in that 30-second span, those 2 block shots, those are sweet.
And we mentioned if Northwestern is able to shut down Dickinson, which so far they have been able to by throwing the double team at them and really confusing Michigan. Michigan would need one player to step up, and right now it looks like it's going to be Franz Wagner that's going to step up into that role. And, you know, Franz is going to be vital for these Wolverines if they want to make a deep run, not only this season, but in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different factors that's going to make this Wolverines basketball team good. I mean, coming into the season, the 2 biggest question marks, who is going to be the point guard and who is going to be the center. I mean, Austin Davis was a vet, but he wasn't necessarily the most skilled player. So that was a big question. And Michigan graduating Xavier Simpson, you know, the big, you know, he's been starting point guard for 3 years. Who was going to fill in those roles, fill in those shoes to be that point guard? And really, if Mike Smith and Hunter Dickinson have filled those gaps pretty good. And if those guys can continue to play at the pace they've gone through so far, Michigan could be a real dangerous team in the tournament. But more importantly, so far in the Big Ten play, they can be a real threat to win the Big Ten.
Looks like we're going to have a shot clock violation called on the floor. So good play by Franz Wagner to keep these Northwestern Wildcats off the board. And right now for the Wolverines, we got Eli Brooks, Mike Smith, Shawnee Brown, Hunter Dickinson, and Franz Wagner on the court. For Northwestern, we got Ryan Greer, Ty Berry, Miller Kopp, Robbie Barron, and Anthony Gaines. Mike Smith brings the ball across the court, finds Franz on the right side, tries to look for Hunter Dickinson down low. He gets up, and it just falls off the rim.
Tough roll. Really nice pass by Franz right there. Got to the block, dumped it back off to Hunter. Hunter just missed a shot.
Miller Kopp controls the ball. One of the better three-point shooters in the league. Hasn't really gotten started going. Ball finds Ryan Young down low on the post, being guarded by Hunter Dickinson. He tries to go to work. Scoop and score for Ryan Young.
Nice move by Young there. Used his like almost lateral length. He didn't really hook Hunter Dickinson, but he got around him with his right foot. Had a real easy path and nice little left right there. Get him a big bucket for the Wildcats.
Franz controlling the ball, looks for Shondy Brown on the three-point line, and Shondy Brown hits his first three.
You know, Shondy's been shooting the ball very confidently. He started off in the first game. I think he was 6 for 6 behind the arc. It kind of slowed down, but, man, he's got a confident shot. I love it.
The transfer from Wake Forest playing a vital role for these Wolverines.
Does a little bit of everything, too. Offensively, defensively, he's great on both ends.
Miller Kopp tries from the free throw line and it just rims off. Rebound Michigan, and they come quickly down the floor. Dickinson controlling the ball at the top of the three-point line. Out to Shondy Brown, gets double teamed. Now Eli Brooks. Mike Smith in the right corner. Franz tells him to take it out and reset. Smart.
Yep.
Really smart. Don't try to force anything. Dickinson comes up for the
8 seconds
pick.
on the shot clock.
Yeah, 8 seconds. And Smith gets by, tries the right left-hand layup, and it just off the iron.
Got to the lane really easy and just couldn't convert on the layup. Wide open, too.
Now Ryan Young controls the ball out to Anthony Gaines. Anthony Gaines trying to go one-on-one against Franz. Kicks it out.
Huge mismatch.
Kicks it out to Miller Kopp. And then Ryan Young controls the ball.
Yeah, Kopp on Smith.
He's going to try his luck off the iron, and Michigan will give that to him every day. Yep. You know, Northwestern's a deep team. That 8 of their 9 guys can really shoot, and Ryan Young being the only exception.
Yeah, considering they had Kopp on Smith down the paint, clear height advantage. I mean, that's a 5-6 inch height advantage, and they didn't go to the paint to him once. Forcing a jump shot was a great possession there for the Wolverines.
12 left on the shot clock. Here goes Mike Smith. Finds Franz at the top of the perimeter. Back to Mike Smith. He's going to go into the lane. Kicks it out to Eli Brooks. Eli Brooks into the lane. Off the backboard. Rebound, Anthony Gaines. Anthony Gaines is going to bring it up across half court, being guarded by Mike Smith. Anthony Gaines goes into the line, and he gets called for the offensive foul. Just a little bit too much arm action. Yeah,
real nice job there by Mike Smith getting over to the lane and getting in position before Gaines got there. And Gaines kind of pushed. It's Greer, I believe. And just kind of nice little push off there, got in position. That's what happens when you play quick defense. Good job there by Mike Smith getting in position, calling that charge, or drawing that charge.
Timeout on the floor. The Michigan Wolverines lead 8-12 over Northwestern. 10:23 left in the first half. And, you know, the first couple of minutes were rough for both teams. Turnovers, and it looks like Michigan is starting to find their rhythm.
Yeah, especially from behind the arc there, Amer. They started off 0-3 from behind the arc. The last 4 attempts, they are 4 for 4. I mean, it's just been real smooth there for the Wolverines. And I was talking about the ball movement earlier and how it wasn't really flowing well. It wasn't quick as well. It wasn't going as fast as I wanted it to. But now Wolverines, I mean, whether it's from the top of the key to the wing to the corner, like they've just been so smooth, making an extra pass, finding open guys, and they're just finally starting to hit their shots. And, you know, it's really been a quick turnaround for the Wolverines.
Pete Nance, coming off a career performance in his previous game, who scored 17 in the first half against Iowa, has 8 so far halfway through the first half, so could have another career performance in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, 8 of 8, or 4 of 4 from the floor on 8 points in 5 minutes. You know, we talked about this too. I feel we're beating the drum again, but Nance is, you know, kind of that X factor for Northwestern. He might not be the top scorer on the team, but he does so much disruptively with his speed and athleticism for a big guy. Like I said, I keep harping back to that MSU game because I got a chance to watch all 40 minutes of that game. And he was the sole reason why Northwestern dominated that basketball game. I mean, him in the pick and roll on offense, there's not many bigs that can compete with the speed that he has. So it's such a huge advantage there. And so far, he's obviously shown that he's a good player against the Wolverines.
Yeah, and the Nance family is definitely familiar with basketball. His father played in the NBA for 13 years, and his brother currently plays in the NBA. So
yeah, look at Larry. Look at Larry in the Larry Nance right now in the NBA. He's an athletic freak. So obviously, the athleticism just kind of runs in the family. And you know, Pete's kind of showing it right now. He's got that athleticism and can finish around the hoop.
Yeah, with a lot of pressure. I mean, when you got your dad and your brother being NBA players, you got quite a bit of pressure. But Chris Collins mentioned how Pete Nance is kind of molding into his own player. You know, he's more relaxed this year, and it's definitely showing on the court when he has career performances. And this offense is definitely flowing through Pete Nance. But Boo Buie, he's considered like the magician for these Northwestern Wildcats. He's really struggled this game. He's 0 for 2 from the field goals, and he had a tough outing against Iowa. So
yeah,
Northwestern's going to need him to step it up, and Miller Kopp is not on the score sheet yet. One of the better shooters, not only for Northwestern, but in the Big Ten, shooting around 30% behind the arc.
Yeah, I mean, Kopp is the leading scorer for Northwestern. So if he's not rolling on that side of the ball, it's real tough for Northwestern to kind of have any sort of shootout competition. And you get in those situations where your leading scorer is not doing much. It's hard for any team to win, especially if he's a threat behind the arc. He's not doing anything from behind the arc.
Coming out of the timeout, we got Chase Audige, Robbie Barron, Ty Berry, Boo Bowie, and Pete Nance for the Wildcats. And for Michigan, Sean D. Brown. Ball's controlled by Eli Brooks.
Brandon Johns with the black and pink shoes today. I like it.
Livers controls the ball at the top of the three-point line. He's going to try to go into the lane. Just loses control of it and goes out of bounds. Another turnover for Michigan.
A lot of contact there between Isaiah Livers and Barron. I'm surprised a foul wasn't called. I can see why it's a no call. Juwan is certainly not happy about it. It looked like Barron gave no room for Livers to go to the hoop at all.
Chase Audige controls the ball, brings it into the lane, and looks like we got an offensive foul.
I think we're going to moving screen on Nance. Stuck his knee out. Oh, excuse me, it was on 31 on Barron. Barron should have been called for a foul last possession there. He kind of stuck his leg out. That's going to be called every single time for screening like that, sticking your leg out. That's just a hazard.
Nance's first foul, team's fourth. Brandon Johns controls the ball now. Looking to find a man on the wing. Finds Eli Brooks, back to Johnson. He pulls up. Brandon Johns on the score sheet.
Nice little pick and pop there from Brandon Johns. Not a typical pick and pop at the top of the key. That's
right back down.
Right
Robbie Barron goes up, and it's going to be a goaltending call on Sean D. Brown as Michigan leads 20-14 with 9:35 left in the first half.
Yeah, but back to that possession, it was a nice little pick and pop there where Brandon Johns didn't go out. He didn't go out to the wing. He's kind of find a spot in the short corner. He just hit a really nice open shot there, and that's kind of the offense. As a big, those moves you're going to have to make, and Johns hit it perfectly. Eli
Brooks double team, splits the defense. Now Sean D. Brown out to Livers in the corner. He's going to try one from three, and he gets it.
Nice little play there by Sean D. Brown, caught in the lane and kicking it out to Livers in the corner. Livers, man, so deadly behind the arc. Hits another one.
Robbie Barron to Pete Nance, top of the perimeter, being guarded by Browns. He splits the defense, and looks like we got a call on the floor, and it's going to be on Brandon Johns Jr.
Yeah, nice little, I guess, correction from earlier in the game. Started off 0 for 3 from deep. Last 5 attempts, Wolverines have found the bottom of the net on all of their three-point shots. 5 of 8 total in the game now. It's been a quick turnaround. Yeah, nice little bucket there by Northwestern on the out-of-bounds play.
Terrence Williams, the second, is in for Michigan right now. Brandon Johns controls the ball at the top of the three-point line, being guarded by Pete Nance, who had Livers on the wing, but Livers wanted to cut, and Brandon Johns just throws it out of bounds. Little miscommunication between the Wolverines right there.
Yeah, it's been a really weird adjustment for Brandon Johns. A lot of people have been calling for him to play the 5 a little more for the Wolverines, and I think he's more comfortable at the 4. But with Austin Davis' shoulder injury, he's clearly the backup 5 right now. So he's kind of sort of out of position. You kind of can see it on the floor.
As Bowie splits the defense, he goes up for the layup, misses. Rebound by Terrence Williams. Eli Brooks trying to go coast to coast, kicks it out to Sean D. Brown for 3. Sean D. Brown, good.
Look at that confidence, baby. No hesitation. Gets the ball on the left wing, and he just throws it out there. It's like throwing rocks in the lake right now for the Wolverines.
Wolverines up by 10 with 8:12 left in the first half. Kopp gets it 2,
nice
right back down.
Around. Great defense there by Isaiah, and Kopp just kind of turns around. I keep seeing that number 10 and seeing the K and the 2 Ps. It reminds me of Cooper Kupp, the Los Angeles Rams, but no, he's playing like Cooper Kupp right now. Real good start for him.
Brooks at the top of the elbow, kicks out to Sean D. Brown, who goes into the lane, right-handed layup. Sean D. gets it, but he's looking for the foul. Should have got it there.
Yeah, Sean D., baby. Making this, he came into Michigan as a defensive player. That was his emphasis, and he's been so good offensively so far for Michigan. Just a huge addition.
Yeah, Brown's 3 for 3 with 8 points so far as we have a foul called on the court.
We might We might get a review here for a hook and hold on Brandon Johns. I think it was on against Barron. It's definitely a foul on Isaiah Livers. I'll be interested if they look at it for a hook and hold.
Yeah, we've got a timeout on the floor as Michigan leads 28-18 over Northwestern in this top 25 matchup. First time in the history between these two that both teams are ranked.
It's crazy, man. I mean, like I said, Northwestern did not. I don't want to. I guess every coach is going to expect their team to play well. They're going to say that. But when you're projected to finish last in the Big Ten, and you come out and get a big win against Michigan State, get a big win against a preseason top 25 AP team in Ohio State, I mean, you're off to a better start than you possibly could have imagined.
Finishing last in the Big Ten might not be that bad this year. I mean,
no.
You got for the first time, the Big Ten has 9 programs among the top 25 in a week. That hasn't happened since last time it happened, 2011, with the Big East. Had 9 teams ranked in one weekend.
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts. I mean, last year I think Michigan was pegged for about 9 teams projected to make the NCAA tournament. I think it would be a stretch to say that. I find it hard that Michigan or that the Big Ten will not get 10 teams in, or at least 9 teams in again this year.
Even though those 9 teams that are in the AP Top 25, there's 2 teams outside of the 25 that got votes. So
yeah,
the Big Ten is definitely a deep conference. And when you have teams like Michigan State, who Northwestern beat at the time when Michigan State was ranked 4, and that was probably the worst game for Michigan State and probably Tom Izzo's career. But
yeah,
Northwestern is just getting better. And as you mentioned, a 1-point thriller at Ohio State and then another road win against Indiana. So
a good Indiana team, a real good Indiana basketball team.
There are no off nights in the Big Ten. If you want to compete for the Big Ten title and a national championship, you're definitely going to be prepared. And there's going to be quite a few teams that make a tournament. We look forward to this year after last year's tournament was canceled.
I mean, just look at the landscape of the Big Ten right now. Every single team in the Big Ten has a winning record, which of course is kind of a without context, considering that most teams in the Big Ten have a weaker non-conference schedule. The only 2 teams right now that don't have a winning schedule in the Big Ten is Penn State, who did lose a lot from last year's team, lost their leading scorer, but also a Nebraska team who's 0-4 in the conference, who really played Michigan really tough in the first half. And they actually played Michigan State pretty tough in the first half last night. That Allen kid from Nebraska is a good scorer. So if they even rattle off a couple wins, get 4 or 5 games above 500, they could be flirting on the bubble. Again, a team, Maryland right now 6-4. They went to Wisconsin and beat up the Badgers. Michigan State is 1-3 in the conference. They're number 8 in the conference, but Michigan State, by end of March, they're going to be in the tournament.
It's Tom Izzo coach team, and they're definitely going to have their hands full on Tuesday. Back to the action, 20 on the shot clock. Pete Nance controls the ball, being guarded by Franz Wagner on the block, kicks it out to Bowie, who's going to go into the lane, stops, passes it out to Barron. He tries off the iron, controlled by Franz Wagner.
Man, it looked like Bowie had a wide open lane in the basket. Maybe not wide open, but a good shot, and he kind of jump stops right in front of the hoop and then dish it off. If you're Bowie, I want to see yourself taking that shot.
Bowie is one of those players that doesn't like going off the screen. He doesn't accept it, but Livers controlling the ball, goes into the lane, splits the defense, and we got a foul on the court. Looks like it's going to be a charge. First, I think that Nance might have been in the restricted area.
That's what it looked like to me, Amer. It really looked like Nance was definitely inside the cylinder.
The refs were confused for a second. I thought they were going to call a block, and they changed their mind, and we'll go right back at it as Michigan leads by 10 with 7:04 left in the first half. Miller Kopp controls the ball, finds Chase Audige on the wing, being guarded by Mike Smith. Out to Bowie, being guarded by Sean D. Brown. Finds a cutting Miller Kopp. Trying to get it down low, it seems like, to Nance, who has a mismatch against Franz Wagner, and they do. Franz guarding Pete Nance. Pete Nance turns and shoots off the iron, controlled by Mike Smith.
Yeah, if you're Pete Nance, you're not looking for that kind of shot. You clearly have the more muscle mass on Franz. Livers pulls up here.
Livers pulls up off the backboard. Rebound Northwestern, and right away here comes Miller Kopp, who's going to try a 3, and just a little short. But rebound by Chase Audige, who he's going to try a 3, and he cleans it up.
Yeah, big second chance points there for the Northwestern Wildcats. Cuts this lead to a 7-point game. Just going back to that Pete Nance versus Franz Wagner matchup in the paint. Nance is the bigger, stronger guy. You want to see him just bully Franz right down to that block and make a little turnaround turn around, hook, or just keep going down and bowling your way and get yourself an easy little basket. Instead, Nance kind of does this little fake right, turn left, fade away jumper, and it's just not a shot you want to take. It's a low percentage shot when Nance has such a bigger and stronger advantage. You want to see him pile down, but they miss the basket there, get a stop on defense, and come down and get a three. So I guess
you sound like Chris Collins. I'm sure he's harping on Pete Nance right now. He's telling them, when you get when you get off of Hunter Dickinson, when he's not guarding you, you got to take it in. You got to go for the layup or kick it out for a three, and you don't want that turnaround fade. And it looks pretty on TV, but doesn't look pretty when there's nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard in a game right now where the Wolverines have just been clicking from the outside. I mean, they've missed 1-3 from the 0-3 start, but 6 of 10 from deep right now. It's hard to beat a team when they're shooting 60% from beyond the arc. If you're Northwestern, you're gonna have to start keeping up. You have to make those baskets, those possessions. You got to take advantage.
6:15 left in the first half, and we have a kick ball by Chase Audige, and Michigan's gonna inbound on the far side. 25 left on the shot clock. It's going to be Shawnee Brown inbounding to Mike Smith. Mike Smith, who finds Franz Wagner out to Eli Brooks. Back to Eli, to Shawnee. Good ball movement by the Wolverines. They're going to try to get in the corner of Mike Smith, and they get it there, but Pete Nance was there to block it. Eli Brooks is going to try to behind the arc. Rims in and out.
Yeah, nice little basket there by Franz. Northwest coming down on the left wing. Dumps off to Nance in the elbow.
Chase Audige being guarded by Mike Smith. He's going to pull up, and Chase Audige hits a three.
2 in a row. It's a big roll there for the Wildcats. Down 10 points. A couple really nice shots there from Audige. Gets his Wildcats to a 6-point game. 24-30 Wolverines.
5:24 left in the first half. Mike Smith controls the ball, finds Shawnee Brown in the corner, back to Mike Smith, flings it around, skip pass, back to Mike Smith, try to find Franz in the corner. They do. One of these times they're going to get Pete Nance on that defensive foul. Mike Smith tries a three, off the iron, rebound by Cup.
Yeah, 3-2 zone from the Wildcats now, clearly trying to disrupt that perimeter shooting that Wolverines are so hot on right now. Michigan missed their last 3 3-point attempts.
Chase Audige going against Franz Wagner, step back, off the iron, and Hunter Dickinson gets the rebound.
That's a big man that can rebound. Good board there by Hunter.
4:46 left in the first half. Michigan leads by 6. 20 left on the shot clock. Mike Smith controls the ball on the block M, on the left wing, being guarded by Boo Bowie. Ball finds its way across to Eli Brooks. Out to Shawnee Brown. Shawnee's going to try from deep. Off the iron. Rebound Michigan. They get a fresh 20 on the clock. And Eli Brooks tries to rush it. Finds Mike Smith. He's going to try to go in the lane. Floats it to Dickinson. Dickinson goes up. Scoop and score for Dickinson.
Nice little dump off there by Mike Smith. And Hunter utilizing that pump feint, getting both Northwestern post players to get up. And he just lay it in simply. Great play there by
Really
Hunter.
impressive. Shawnee Brown here with the steal. He goes up and he gets the slam. Sean D. Brown. And he's going to get a technical foul for hanging on the rim. You hate to see that call. But
that's tough. That's so tough. Sean D was kind of hanging on the rim there. That's such an in-betweener. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that call, but regardless, just a great defensive sequence there by Sean D and then coming down and slamming it home.
Yeah, Sean D. Brown. We got Boo Bowie on the floor, who was being guarded by Shawnee Brown. It looks like he just lost his footing, and that's how Shawnee Brown got the turnover and goes down the court and just slams it home. And you hate to see the technical foul called when there's no fans in the stands. These players, they got to create their own energy somehow, and it's really tough when you can't do it. And a lot of people have been saying that the team that has the most energy on the bench is the team that really will most likely win the game in the end.
Yeah, Juwan is very, very clearly upset about that call. I mean, again,
I didn't see him slam the backboard or anything, but Boo Bowie is up.
Getting carried off the floor right. Not carried off. He's getting helped off the floor right now.
He's not putting any pressure, it looks like, on the – he's putting a little bit on the left foot.
Yeah, Juwan clearly is not happy about that technical foul call. And really, I don't agree with it either, especially in a situation, like you said, where a team is just trying to create energy. It's a big play. He has a pick six, has a wide open lane, and slams it home. And then he gets teed up for a play where he's just trying to show some energy. I understand he's hanging on the rim, and that's what the foul was on. You can't hang on the rim, but it wasn't overly obsessive. It is what it is, though. Northwestern will get 2 free throws in the ball here, and, Wolverines got a 10-point lead with 4:05 left in the half. Again, really, really, really nice turnaround. I feel like I keep saying that, but a great turnaround from the first 2 or 3 minutes from the Wolverines, where it just seemed like they couldn't hit a shot, and now they're just clicking on all assets right now. And Northwestern is trying to switch up that defense to limit that perimeter shooting of the Wolverines.
Yeah, and whenever Michigan's able to extend that lead, Northwestern comes right back and they punch them right in the mouth and they cut it down to under 10. And then Michigan comes back, they extend the lead, and it's just back and forth matchup.
Yeah, it's really, again, I think the highest margin of lead right now for the Wolverines is 10. I think they're at it right now. And, in the first half against a team Northwestern that's ranked and they're playing very good basketball, the only bad performance they've had in the Big Ten was against a top 5 team at Iowa. So to get this advantage early on in the first half, it's big for the Wolverines. It's really everything they've wanted to do, they're doing it right now. Getting Hunter Dickinson involved, shooting from the outside, just playing real well.
Update on Boo Buie. He's in quite a bit of pain. The trainer is looking at his right knee, and you hate to think it might be an ACL or something, but he's getting quite a bit attention and quite a bit of pain as the trainer is doing her job.
It doesn't look like they're doing the ACL test. The ACL test, you try to pull the leg and see if the knee socket's popping out. That's how trainers can visibly see if someone tore their ACL. It looks like they're checking around the bones.
Yeah, they're doing a lot. They're checking out a lot.
Regardless, they're checking out his right knee, and like you said, he's visibly in pain. So we'll see if he can make it back on the floor. I'm surprised he hasn't gone back to the locker room yet.
Yeah, it looks like he's a tough player. He's going to try to walk it off.
He's walking off on his own right now. I think we'll see Bowie back on the floor.
Eventually, probably, but for now, it looks like Ryan Greer, the junior out of Atlanta, Georgia, is going to step in for the starting point guard role. And, with Boo Buie being out right now, one player that I'm going to be looking at is going to be Chase Audige. Chase Audige is just a phenomenal player for these Northwestern Wildcats. Chase Audige, the transfer out of William and Mary, sat out last season, the former CAA all-rookie team. He's known for taking over the second half. Usually he averages around 13 points, second best on the team.
Yeah, and he just fired off those 2 huge threes for Northwestern that really without those 2 big shots, they'd probably be out of this ball game as Kopp is going to the line to shoot those 2 technical foul free throws.
First free throw is up, and Kopp sinks it. Kopp is probably one of the better shooters, as we mentioned, for these Northwestern Wildcats, and Coach Collins would definitely like to see him get going behind the arc.
Full court press coming here from the Wolverines, a 1-2-1-1 full court zone press. Again, trying to pressure the middle right at the half court. Trap it in the corner.
They have not broken the press yet, but they find Ryan Young and get it across the half. But right away, we got 2 players on him. Chase Audige controls the ball, being guarded by Shaundi Brown. Very physical Shaundi Brown.
Intense defense here from Shaundi.
Out to Anthony Gaines, finds Pete Nance at the top of the three-point line. Out to Audige. Back into Gaines on the post, has a mismatch against Mike Smith. Finds Pete Nance, cutting Pete Nance, and Pete Nance with a left-handed slam.
Yeah, real good patience there from Northwestern. They used the entire shot clock and waited till they found a shot that they liked. They got the mismatch on Smith, and Nance made a beautiful cut and slams it home. Real nice possession there for Northwestern.
Shaundi Brown with go back on that one. You had Mike Smith, who was looking for the alley-oop to Shaundi Brown, and I got a little bit excited there, but just missed him, and that one would have.
Yeah, it was really nice contested there by Pete Nance. Again, it's sort of that wheel route kind of, where at the top of the left wing there, Smith throws it off to
Maybe something like
Shaundi.
Cooper Kupp would run in the NFL.
That's right.
Chase Audige gets the ball across the half, being guarded by Eli Brooks. Finds Gaines on the left wing. Back out to Pete Nance, top of the three-point line. 15 left on the shot clock. Now Kupp on the elbow. He gets it. 2 for Kupp. 29-34 Michigan.
Yeah, just a great shot coming off of 2 ball screens on the right corner, and really just hits a nice shot. I mean, Franz really contested it, just hit it right over Franz. Great shot there by Kupp.
Northwestern playing a 2-3 zone right now and having some success with it. Shaundi Brown controls the ball on the right wing. Hunter Dickinson comes to set the pick, doesn't take it. Out to Franz in the corner. Back out to Eli Brooks in the corner. Franz, good ball movement. Shaundi Brown fakes the 3, and he draws the defensive foul. Looks like it's going to be on Chase Audige.
Yeah, it's more of a 3-2 zone that Northwestern's running right now. We got 2 guys on the blocks, 2 guys on both the wings, and 1 guy obviously on top of the key. Again, I think it's to really limit and disrupt the perimeter shooting that Michigan's been, doing really, really well at so far in this game. And it's definitely limited. I mean, now they're only shooting at 46% where they were just at 60.
Franz controls the ball being guarded by Cup out to Eli in the corner, drives baseline, kicks it back out to Franz. Franz floats it up off the iron, gets his own rebound out to Mike Smith. He's going to try to go in the lane, but stopped by Chase Audige. Out to Franz. Now they're trying to get the ball to Eli Brooks in the corner. They do. Eli's going to launch one, and he hits it. Eli Brooks for 3.
Beautiful sequence there by Mike Smith. He set that up so perfectly. Nice little behind-the-back move, kind of pump faked, and shoved it right back off to Eli Brooks, and Eli had a wide-open 3. Great creation ability there by Mike Smith, and I love it. Beautiful pass.
Yeah, Northwestern trying to get it down low, and they do, and Gaines goes up being guarded by Mike Smith off the iron. Rebound Michigan. Mike Smith with a quick down the court. Back out to Eli Brooks and Franz on the wing. Franz tries a 3, and Franz hits a 3.
Like I said earlier, it's just like throwing rocks in a lake right now for the Wolverines. I mean, that basket looks huge right now. They are just absolutely clicking from beyond the arc right now. 8 of 15. Great job by Michigan three-point shooting.
Ryan Young down low being guarded by Dickinson. Goes under the basket, scoop, and nothing there.
Yeah, if you're Ryan Young, you got to kick that out. You're not winning that matchup against Hunter Dickinson.
Eli Brooks is going to try run for Brian Howard, and Eli Brooks with the 3.
Pebbles in a lake, Amer. They're throwing rocks in a lake right now. It's easy for
Michigan
the Wolverines.
Michigan extends their lead to 43-29 with under a minute left in the first half. Anthony Gaines controls the ball. Out to Ryan Young. We know he's not going to shoot the 3. Chase Audige, he's going to go into the lane, kicks it back out to Miller Cup. Miller Cup being guarded by Hunter Dickinson, and then is blocked by Franz, controlled by Terrence Williams.
7-second difference from the shot clock and the play clock right now for the Wolverines. So they can hold this down and force Northwestern to make a fast possession.
Yeah, 20 left on the clock. Mike Smith on the block end, getting instructions from Jawan. Dickinson comes up to set a potential screen, but they got a mismatch. Out to Eli Brooks in the corner. Mike Smith on the wing. Out to Terrence Williams. Terrence is going to try from behind the arc. Off the iron. Rebound Pete Nance. 10 seconds left in the first half. Turnover back to Michigan. Mike Smith, he's going to try one from the 3.
Yeah.
He hits it, but double dribble.
That was clearly a double dribble. Mike Smith got his hands up.
You had the whole Northwestern bench up.
Double dribble.
Whole Northwestern bench up. 5.2 left on the game clock. Michigan leads 43-29.
Yep, again, 5.2 seconds in. They got Terrence Williams, who's kind of been a defensive specialist so far for the Wolverines. He's on top here, so they got to take a quick shot.
Audige with the ball, screened by Ryan Young. It's going to be Audige for the last shot. He tries it off the iron. And your halftime score from Ann Arbor, Michigan 43, Northwestern 29.
Yeah, just a great performance from beyond the arc here by the Wolverines. 9 of 17 from the floor, from beyond the arc. Eli Brooks has hit 3 threes. Franz Wagner has hit 2 threes. I mean, the Wolverines are clicking. A couple other guys here got a couple. Deshaunty Brown's got 2 for himself. Smith has got 1 and Livers has got 1. So really everybody's getting a slice of the pie. Really outside shooting has been the difference in this game so far. And defensively, the Wolverines are not. They're not making anything easy for Pete Nance. He started off 8 straight points there for Northwestern, and since then, he really hasn't done much. He's gotten 2. He hasn't taken many shots, to be fair. He started off 4 for 4 and has only taken 2 shots since then. But that's a testament. That's a test to how Michigan is just denying him, not letting the chance for him to get the ball. Just really sound half here by the Wolverines. And like you said, this ranked matchup.
So, first couple of minutes were rough for both teams. Multiple turnovers, but the Michigan Wolverines settled in. And to close off the half, they went on a 9-0 run. For 2 minutes, they went on a 9-0 run, and they lead 43-29 right now. And we're going to take a little break here. Enjoy the halftime. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Hello and welcome back inside Chrysler Arena, where number 16 leads the Northwestern Wildcats 43-29. The Wolverines went on a 9-0 run to close out the first half. Both Franz and Shondi Brown have 10 points apiece, and Pete Nance for Northwestern has 10. Andy, what does Michigan need to do to close out these Wildcats and hand them their second loss in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, just looking right now at Northwestern stat sheet, it's kind of the thing that played out in the first half. You know, the two top guys in the team, Kopp and Nance, those are the two most effective scorers on Northwestern. Again, it's hard to stop those guys. It's hard to neutralize them exactly, but if you just kind of slow them down, if you get them out of their rhythm and make sure that neither one of them can take over a game, kind of like Nance was in the first few minutes of the game, if you could keep slowing them down and making sure they're not getting into that rhythm, then you should be able to win this game handsomely, considering you're already up 14 at half. So don't let those two guys get rolling. You can start playing a little more conservative on the offensive end. Don't take your foot off the pedal, but you can start slowing down, not look for so many transition threes. Work the clock, keep playing well, and the Wolverines should be able to escape this one with a W.
Yeah, so Northwestern was definitely successful in shutting Hunter Dickinson down. He only had 4 points that first half, which opened up players like Franz and Shondi Brown.
Yeah, this kind of has been the one game in the Big Ten so far where Hunter Dickinson hasn't made a huge impact. Like I said, talking about that Nebraska game, I believe Hunter Dickinson only had, I think he ended up with a double-double. I think he only had 10 points, but he was so disruptive. I think he had 3 or 4 blocked shots that game. He was in the passing lanes. He had 12 or 11 rebounds. So he was super effective everywhere. Where in this game, I mean, his stat sheet right now, he's got 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block. I mean, it's not terrible. You walk out with an 8-6, 8-7 game for a college big. That's not bad. But this has definitely been his quietest performance so far as a Wolverine.
Injury update on Boo Buie, who went down in that first half with what looked like a knee injury, was up and running down the baseline in between the halftime, and it looks like he's going to be back in the starting lineup.
Yeah, he's sprinting from side to side, shuffling, backpedaling, making cuts. So it does look like Buie. It looks like he's going to enter this game in the second half.
Looks like the 5 for the Northwestern Wildcats are going to be Buie, Audige, Kopp, Nance, and Barron. For Michigan, basically the same as the beginners. Dickinson, Livers, Smith, Wagner, and Brooks.
Yeah, looking back at that Nebraska game, Dickinson finished with 13 points on 15 rebounds. So, again, it wasn't one of those 20-point games where he was scoring, but he still was effective for 13 and 15. This is definitely a game where he's been shut down the most. So if you're Northwestern, you got to be happy with that, but you got to continue to limit Michigan from beyond the arcs. That's where Michigan's made the most bang for their buck.
Eli Brooks having a quiet night. We forgot to mention him there. He's 3 for 4 from the three-point arc.
Yeah, 3 for 4, 3 for 5 from the floor total. 9 points, all of his buckets, all of his points coming from beyond the arc.
Second half is just moments away, and Franz Wagner inbounds it to Mike Smith. Smith finds Eli Brooks on the wing, springs it back around to Franz. It's going to find Livers, who's guarded by Barron, into the corner with Mike Smith, who's going to go into the lane, tries to kick it out in the corner, but it's picked off by Northwestern. Quick, fast break, and here comes Barron, and he gets the slam. Stare downs Liver after.
Yeah, real.
Surprised no technical foul on that one based on Shondi Brown.
It's also real lucky that Livers did not get called for a foul there.
Yeah, Livers looking for that LeBron James behind.
The chase down block.
Down block. Back to the action. Mike Smith controls it by and finds Dickinson down low, and Dickinson spins Nance and slams it down.
Perfect way to seal off an opponent. He gets that outside hip around Nance, gets that pass, and just an easy turnaround slam. Great positioning there by Hunter.
Michigan leads 45-31 as Barron jacks up a 3, and he hits it.
Yeah, Barron getting some confidence. 5 straight points there from the big and the Wildcats.
That's the good thing about Northwestern is they have everybody can shoot.
Yeah.
8 of their 9 guys can shoot, so it gives them versatility and gives them that opportunity.
It looks like the old John Beilein Michigan coach basketball teams. I mean, every single person from 1 to 5 was a threat on any spot of the floor, and that's sort of how Northwestern's playing today.
Mentioning Beilein, I was reading something on Twitter about how Beilein was able to recruit those high IQ players, and Juwan Howard was able to cap it off by recruiting NBA players.
Yeah, high IQ, but also high athleticism, high talent guys.
Definitely a good team. Dickinson's going to try his luck from the elbow, and he gets it. Hunter Dickinson.
That is the underrated part of Hunter Dickinson's game that nobody's talked about yet because he hasn't showed it off. The guy has a real nice jump shot, and I think in a couple years, if we tweak it, he could be a good perimeter shooter as well.
It's nice to see an old-fashioned center. Right back down. Barron's going to try a three. Off the iron, rebound by Livers, out to Smith on the break.
Yeah.
Livers is going to try to go down the post and finds Franz on the baseline, who gets fouled.
Yeah, nice little cut, backdoor cut from Franz. Smith gets it right down to the elbow and dumps it off to Franz in the backdoor cut, and there's a real nice effort there from, I believe it's Bowie.
No, Chase Audige gets
Audige. Yeah, nice foul on Audige, but he made a real nice effort there. Clear height advantage for Franz, and he made a contest. Chase
Audige's second foul of the game as Franz sinks the first shot. Michigan leads 48-34. Still early in the second half with 18:20 left. And the second one is good for Franz Wagner. Great to see Bowie back on the court, and he looks good. He looks good. Bowie crosses the block end, being guarded by Eli Brooks, slows it down, tries to get his offense running, finds Cup on the wing, back to Barron at the top of the key. Barron's going to try one from the elbow, and Barron sinks two for the Northwestern Wildcats. Here comes Mike Smith right back down the floor. He's going to go in the corner, tries to find Hunter Dickinson on the pick and roll. Instead finds Franz, and Franz just misses the layup. Rebound, Pete Nance.
Got a 13-point lead from the Wolverines.
Cup with a three. No good there. Really tough night for Miller Cup from the three-point line.
You're about to say Cooper.
Cooper, you know how many times I've practiced, and it's like, oh, that one. Here goes Dickinson again.
Boom.
Dickinson with the 15-footer.
I'm telling you, that's a part of the game that he has not showcased. I'm glad he's doing it now because you're going to have to start respecting him. You start to play him tight on those wing perimeter plays because he can hit that shot. He had that skill in high school.
Hunter Dickinson now has 10 points for the Wolverines as Barron's going to jack up a three for the Wildcats. Rims out, rebound, Michigan. Here comes Mike Smith being guarded by Chase Audige, who just gets rolled over by Hunter Dickinson, and then Barron with just a foul.
Yeah, nice play there by Barron. Gets a foul and knocks over Hunter Dickinson that stares down at him. That's a really good time to celebrate when you get a foul called against you. Hunter Dickinson's really starting to take over this game. We were talking about how he had 4 points going into half. Now he's with 10. So, again, that's a good time to stare over a guy when he's dominating and you just got called for a foul.
Yeah, there's just a mismatch down there.
Yeah.
Just mismatch down on the post, and Pete Nance is usually their center. He's a true stretch five for the Northwestern Wildcats. He's able to open the floor, but tonight they're just really struggling. They cannot hit from behind the arc.
Yeah.
They're 3 for 10 behind the three-point line, and it's a tough night.
That's the kind of thing, though, too, when you find yourself in these positions when you're down 16, 17, 15 points, you're going to have to try to play catch-up. When you play catch-up, you have to shoot a lot of perimeter shots. So if you're a team that's getting, beat pretty handsomely and you have to force up these perimeter shots, you're not making them, that's just a recipe for disaster. And right now, Northwestern's kind of suffering from that disaster.
Anthony Gaines checks in for the Northwestern Wildcats, taking out Robbie Barron, and Hunter Dickinson sinks both free throws.
Michigan fans can attest to this. The last 5 or 10 years, Michigan has had really bad free throw shooting teams. Even 2018 when they went to the national championship.
As Northwestern breaks the press, tries to find Pete Nance in the lane and just gets it swatted away.
Nice little swat by Livers.
They'll maintain possession. 22 left on the clock. They inbound it to Pete Nance, and he just throws it away. Picked up by Livers, and Livers is going to go coast to coast. Livers off the rim, picked up by Eli Brooks. Livers with the
hustle by Isaiah. Didn't get a bucket, didn't get the rebound, but he was flying around the court. I love to see that from the Wolverines.
Now it's going to be Cup who controls the ball, being guarded by Dickinson. He wants to look for a step back, doesn't get it, drives down the lane, left-handed. Layup is good.
Nice. It's always a tough thing to do, going up against a 7'1" guy with a great wingspan. But nice job by Cup there, just kind of having that ball protected with his body, creating some space to get that layup up.
Michigan tries to get it in, down low to Dickinson. They do, and he gets the foul, and one for Hunter Dickinson.
Again, if you are a high school or middle school, or really if you're a basketball coach ever, and you want to teach your kids or your players how to get seal positioning in the post, watch Hunter Dickinson. I mean, the last 2 times he's got fed the rock on that left block. He does such a great job of keeping that shoulder and that front foot on the outside of his defender, so as soon as he gets the ball, he can take the simple drop step and just go right to the basket. He's done the last 2 times perfectly. Absolute great job showcasing his big man skills. Hunter Dickinson killing it right now.
And he completes the old-fashioned 3-point play. You know, you mentioned Hunter Dickinson. He was kind of quiet that first half. He's made his presence known the second half as Chase Aldige jacks up a 3, rebound Eli Brooks.
And then he's a 7-1 center, and he's boxing out right now. It's great box out from a 7-1 center. I mean, this is just a guy who not only has great skills, but he's a high IQ basketball player. Great job by Hunter Dickinson.
Dickinson back down on the post, turns, throws a layup, and it's off the iron. Michigan currently leads 18. Now it's going to be Bowie who goes into the lane against Dickinson, loses control of it, and it's going to find Livers, and Livers quickly finds Mike Smith, who lobs it up to Eli Brooks.
Oh!
Eli Brooks with the alley-oop. And this Michigan bench is going insane. Usually where we would see the Maze Rage.
The crowd going nuts.
Michigan now extends their lead to the highest it's been all game, 20 points. It's going to be Franz who gets the rebound once again into Dickinson down low, and no foul called on that one. Rims out. It's going to be Bowie coming back on the block M. Top of the perimeter. He's going to try to go into the lane, but Franz is there, kicks it out to Aldige. Aldige goes in. He floats it up, and Aldige hits the 2.
Yeah, nice little Euro step there from Aldige. Hunter Dickinson trying to draw the charge. Takes a nice, sweet left to right Euro, getting that nice little bucket. I love it. That's good play there by Aldige.
Michigan leads 58-40 with 14:25 left in the first half. Here's Livers going into the lane off the backboard. Livers gets 2 right there.
Yeah, I think he was looking for an and one too. Kind of a little bump coming there from Kopp. So, again, the situation right now looking good for Michigan. Up 20 with 14 to go. Got the immediate timeout coming up.
Now Ryan Young guarded by Dickinson, who kicks it out to Cup. Cup with the 15-footer off the iron. Rebound Livers. Now it's Livers against Chase Aldige. Livers is going to be smart. Pulls it out for the 3. Livers hits the 3.
3 on the Wolverines did not even have numbers there. 3 Northwestern defenders, 1 guy in Isaiah Livers. He goes, screw it, I'm just going to pull up and he's going to bury it. Nice shot there by Isaiah Livers.
Isaiah Livers, as you mentioned, it was just him and one more Northwestern player, and he's like, you know what? This hoop is huge.
I'm just going to shoot.
This hoop is huge. Let's just jack up a 3 and extend this lead to 23.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, we were talking about how Hunter Dickinson was having a quiet first half. Well, he kind of turned that around. He's already got 15 points, 11 points in the second half. And Michigan has had a lot of really solid big guys in the last couple of years. I mean, Mo Wagner was great. Mitch McGarry was a really good big. The other guys that were really successful. Jordan Morgan was solid. DJ Wilson was solid. But I don't know if Michigan's had a more complete big than they do right now with Hunter Dickinson. I mean, this guy, everything from scoring to defense, he's a great rim protector. We know about his post moves, but it's the little stuff that makes him so good. I can't harp on it enough. The positioning on inbound or towards the paint passes. He gets that positioning where he has the easy drop step, or he's 7'1" guy going up against a 6'8" big, and he's still boxing him out. You don't see bigs that are 7 foot box out much in college basketball. But Hunter Dickinson is going to make those little plays, and that's kind of set him, I guess, on almost a different level right now than any other big besides Luka Garza in the Big Ten. I mean, the guy's been absolute dominant, and you have to be so happy if you're Juwan Howard right now with your play from your freshman.
Hunter Dickinson is playing with a little bit more of an edge, especially after coming off of the win against Maryland. And we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. Hunter Dickinson went to high school just down the road from the University of Maryland, and Maryland didn't even look at him.
Yeah.
Juwan Howard's not complaining, but, he's definitely playing with an edge, has a career-high 26 at Maryland. Tonight, great follow-up. He has, what is it he at? It's 15 after only having 4 in the first half, so he has 11 in the second half. Great start for Hunter Dickinson, but now if you're on the other side for Northwestern, what did Northwestern do? They had a good start that first about 2-3 minutes in the first half, creating a lot of turnovers. But since then, Michigan is just on a different level playing tonight. They're clicking behind the arc. They're clicking down low. Just everything is working for them. And on the other side, Northwestern, they're really struggling. You got players like Miller Kopp, who shoots 60% behind the arc, not really helping them out from deep.
Yeah, right now for Northwestern, you really need to focus on not trading baskets. If you're Northwestern, you have to start, almost going back to what they were doing in the first half. They were doubling Hunter Dickinson almost every single time he touched the ball. You got to make sure you're getting stops on defense, not letting Michigan go in the situation when they got to go 2 for 3. Northwestern got to force up all these 3-point shots because they can't get a stop on defense. Secure the defense, get better defensively, and that's kind of your best recipe to come out and try to get back in this ballgame.
A couple of new faces for these Michigan Wolverines. We got Shawnee Brown, Eli Brooks, Franz Wagner, Brandon Barnes Jr., and Terrence Williams II out there.
2-2-1 full court trap press for the Wolverines right now. Trying to get guys stuck in that corner right past the out of bounds or right past the half court line.
Ty Berry being guarded by Franz, kicks it out to Gaines, who switches around the court, and you're going to find Ty Berry down low, kicks it back out to Gaines, back in down low to Ryan, and he gets fouled by Brandon Barnes Jr.
Yeah, tough position there for Brandon Johns. He tried to jump on the pass a little too early, kind of got in a position where he knew he was beat and kind of held, I believe it was Young, held Young. And tough play there by Brandon Johns. Again, he's kind of forced into a role that he's not the most comfortable in. I think for Brandon Johns Jr., the best output you can get from that guy is when he's playing at the 4. He can kind of utilize his speed and athleticism more than rather his strength and raw power. But it's kind of a learning experience. And that's why Michigan went out and just got a 5-star center recruit for next year because they know they need some bigs. Hunter Dickinson will hopefully still be around because Brandon Johns just doesn't seem comfortable to me at the 5 spot.
And you mentioned the recruiting. Juwan Howard in his second season is bringing in the #1 overall recruiting class next year, headlined by 5-star Caleb Houston, who is ranked 10th in ESPN's Top 100. But also a good thing is Juwan Howard's keeping those in-state players home with Kobe Buffkin out of Grand Rapids. And there's still space for one more recruit on this team. Could it potentially be Chet Holmgren?
Chet Holmgren, I mean, that's the lofty goal of Chet Holmgren.
Got to feed the seed. Let's see.
I mean, everybody talks about how Monty Bates was the best high school player in the country right now. I still think it's Chet Holmgren. And the skills that guy has as a 7'2" center that can bring the ball up the floor is unbelievable.
Now, can you imagine Michigan bringing in a Chet Holmgren and you have an Imani Bates and Chet Holmgren?
Yeah, I still think Imani Bates. I don't think he'll ever touch the floor in East Lansing, especially after the whole Imani Bates and I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, point guard recruit. Coming out of, he played at the Prep Academy in Ipsy. Can't think of his name right now, but a former player, a 4-star recruit for Michigan State, was on the Ipsy Prep Academy team with Imani Bates, and they kind of had a falling out, and that 4-star recruit was forced to leave Ypsilanti Prep, and that's a 4-star recruit that Michigan State is really looking forward to. So it's kind of a tough situation for Imani. I don't think he'll ever play at MSU, but, obviously we're going to see.
We can be optimistic and hope that we get at least 1 year of Chet Holmgren and Imani Bates getting to play each other at least twice.
At this point, though, I don't really know if I want Imani Bates. The guy, Jaden Akins. That's a guy, Jaden Akins, the guy I was thinking of, 4-star point guard, obviously played at Ipsy Prep, no longer on the team. But if you're Michigan, you got to be so happy the recruits coming in. I mean, Diabate is going to be a great 5-star.
Diabate is going to be special.
Caleb Houston is a 5-star that reclassified. He was in the 2022 class, reclassified in the 2021 class. Is an absolute lights-out shooter up from Canada. Kobe Buffkin is a freak athlete. I mean, that guy, he reminds me a lot of Karis LeVert. He's got the crazy length, but crazy leaping abilities. Good athlete. And a couple other pieces that are going to fit in nice.
17 left on the shot. Ty Berry is going to check up a 3, and it's blocked by Franz. That's another one for Franz Wagner there.
That's his 4th of the day. Again, just so disruptive with that length and athleticism.
Now Eli Brooks is going to drive baseline. Kicks it out to Terrence Williams II. Finds Shawnee Brown Jr. Now Eli Brooks out to Franz. Franz is going to try a 3. Off the iron. Rebound Northwestern.
Beautiful box out there by Young and Northwestern. Securing off Brandon Johnson, getting that big board.
And it looks like it was Anthony Gaines who's going to draw the foul on Michigan. It's going to be Eli Brooks is the guilty one.
Hey, look at the foul trouble numbers right now for the Wolverines. You're not really seeing many guys in foul trouble. I mean, you got Livers with 2 and Johns with 2. Besides that, everybody else is, a couple guys got 1 foul. Wagner's got 1, Brooks got 1, but that's it. No Wolverines in foul trouble right now.
Anthony Gaines sinks the first free throw, and we got Robbie Barron and Pete Nance checking back into the game.
You can say the same thing for the Wildcats, too. They got 3 guys with 2 fouls, and that is it. So it's been kind of one of those basketball games where you're letting the refs kind of swallow the whistle and just letting the kids play.
Second one rims off, and Michigan currently leads 63-41 with just about 13 minutes left to play in the second half.
Franz Wagner just picked up a double-double. That was his 10th rebound, going to his 12 points and 4 block shots. Good all-around basketball game from the German.
We mentioned Franz in the pregame show about how he would need to come up big for these Wolverines. Shawnee Brown gets the rebound, and he's going to draw the blocking foul.
Yeah, that's a great call. Sure looked like, I believe it was Barron was right in the middle of that cylinder, that illegal cylinder, and Shawnee went right after him. Great play there by the Wolverines picking up the foul.
Yeah. Robbie Barron picks up his 3rd foul of the game, team's 4th. Shawnee Brown going through the free throw line.
Yeah, honestly, Robbie Barron came out and was really on fire starting off in the first half. Scored the first 5 points from the Wildcats, and I guess he just kind of got, I don't want to say too confident. You started seeing him staring dudes down or looking down on guys after he picks up a foul. Sometimes it's just better to play basketball, and you start getting yourself so caught up in the emotional side of it that you forget you just got to hoop. And right now, Barron, since that moment, really has not done much for the Wildcats.
Shawnee Brown sinks the second one and extends Michigan lead to 65.
Another great thing about Shawnee Brown is his intensity on the defense side of the ball. Picking up Bowie right from the opposing free throw line. It's just awesome, the intensity that guy brings on both sides of the floor.
Pete Nance plays the point guard, hands it out to Ty Berry, and he's going to get blocked by Livers as he heads to the block.
Terrence Williams with a great play there, too. So him and Barron both were kind of falling out of bounds, and it was out on Michigan. And Williams, they both are falling. They both are already out of bounds. And Williams just catches it and touches it with Barron on his shoulder and lets it fall to the ground, causing the ball to be out of bounds on Northwestern. Another high IQ play from the DMV boy.
Ball's going to be controlled by Isaiah Livers, who turns his back, and he's going to try to bring Robbie Barron into the post. He does, turns around, fades away, and Isaiah Livers.
The Wolverines are just going after Robbie Barron right now. You could tell the Wolverines kind of have an edge with this guy because every single bucket they make, they look right back at him. They did something that made this Michigan team pretty upset.
As Boo Booey controls the ball, tries to find Ty Berry. He will. And we're going to have a defensive foul. It looks like it's going to be on Mike Smith.
Yeah, tough player there. Berry and Smith's legs were kind of tied up a little bit, and Berry just kind of fell down. That's one of those plays where Mike Smith, there's nothing you really do about it. But, God, if you're Juwan Howard, got a 26-point lead, and your team is just clicking on all cylinders offensively and defensively. This is, like I said, coming to the game, there's 2 tests back-to-back that I was really excited to see. At Maryland and against the Northwestern team that's ranked at home, and Wolverines really showcasing how good of a team they really are today at the Chrysler Center.
Yeah, Michigan showing how good they are and really clicking tonight. This is potentially showing us what this Michigan team could look going forward. But even with all the young guys that are on this Michigan team, how important has it been to have such great senior mentors? You have players like Isaiah Livers, Eli Brooks, Austin Davis, all coming back. Then you have a grad transfer from Columbia and Mike Smith, averaging just a little bit over 9 points per game and 5.5 assists. And then you also have the transfer Shawnee Brown from Wake Forest. How important has it been to have that veteran leadership for this Michigan team?
It's kind of been a real lost art in college basketball of late. It's kind of picked up last year. We saw Cassius Winston was a senior that played very well. Obi Toppin and Dayton. The 4-year guys have kind of been lost in the scheme of college basketball, but they bring so much of that wisdom and that experience that every college basketball team needs. And especially with the way that Juwan Howard's recruiting, he can bring in these 4-star recruits. Last year he brought in 3 top 100 guys, and really the only one that's making any sort of impact is Hunter Dickinson, where you can let these young guys who are top 100 guys develop and get on the floor when they actually need to get on the floor, when they're actually right and more, kind of in that zone to play on the basketball team. And these guys just bring so much leadership. Isaiah Livers, people forget, he was on the Final Four team that went to the national championship. Imagine the things that he learned from Mo Wagner that he's bringing to his little brother Franz Wagner. You know, it's those kind of things that you can't coach. You can't coach leadership. You can't coach experience. And Michigan's got a whole lot of both.
And you mentioned Franz. He also put his name out there in the NBA, decided to come back to college, which it turns out it's going to be a smart decision for him. And, you know, this Michigan Wolverines team is going to be a dangerous one. It's not going to be an easy out. And we still haven't mentioned this. They are undefeated on the season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they just moved up to number 17 in the AP poll. And, you know, obviously they haven't had any crazy hard tests yet. At the end of the season, I think the last 6 games, they play ranked teams in the top 15 of every single game. Let's go down right now. We're looking. You got Michigan. You got Michigan State. You got Illinois. Let's first start at Northwestern, ranked team on the road. You got Michigan State, Illinois, both top 17 teams. At Wisconsin, top 16. Then Rutgers. Then at Ohio State, top 25 team in the country. Then at Indiana, road games in the Big Ten. And then Iowa at home. And then at Michigan State to end the season. I mean, in those last 9 games, either they all are on the road or against a top 25 team. So that's going to be the big stretch for the Wolverines.
Yeah.
But what you got to do is you got to play the teams in front of you. And right now, like you said, the Wolverines are undefeated and are clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, and you don't want to look over any teams as they will go.
Of course.
They will welcome in Minnesota on Wednesday and then welcome in Wisconsin. But back to the action.
A Minnesota team that just whooped on the Sparties, too.
Yeah, no nights off in the Big Ten.
None.
Michigan is going to control the ball with 11:40 left in the second half. They lead 67-41.
And no field goals for the Northwestern Wildcats in the last 3 minutes of gameplay.
Mike Smith is going to drive in, and he's going to draw the foul. Mike Smith will be heading back to the free throw line.
You know, this is also a good recipe for the Wolverines, a good game script. I mean, Michigan is a team when they have a lead, they're really good at keeping a lead because they have such a really, really good half-court offense. You know, if Hunter Dickinson, who's not in the game right now, who can really slow things down, use up the clock that they want to do, but also their pick-and-roll game with Mike Smith has been so good and so efficient this year. So a team like this has a big lead, obviously great for the Wolverines.
How soon before we see some bench players come in for these Wolverines?
It's getting close to that point. Juwan is not a big guy in bringing in the bench guys early. He never really has been so far in his year and a quarter at Michigan. But I would assume if you keep 26-point lead around the 4 or 5 minute mark.
Mike Smith hit his first one. Second one's up in the air, and it rims out. It looks like we're going to have a foul on Terrence Williams.
Yes, I mean, really, those are the first 2 free throws the Wolverines have missed today. They're 7 of 9 from the stripe. And again, like I was talking about earlier, this is a big advantage that Michigan has had. I mean, even like I said, the national championship team, they couldn't shoot free throws. Now, all 5 guys in the starting lineup are really, really good free throw shooters.
We're trying to say we're going to go back to the
I'm not foreshadowing anything.
National title as Barron lays one up. 67-43 Michigan. Just a little bit over 11 minutes left in the second half. Brandon Johns at the top of the 3 being guarded by Pete Nance. Finds Mike Smith on the wing, who's going to drive into the lane, kicks it out to Shawnee Brown. Shawnee Brown for 3, off the iron. Rebound, Brandon Johns. And he's got Nance all over him. Kicks it out to Livers. Livers for 3. No good, but Shawnee with the rebound and Shawnee with the layup.
Yeah. 2 offensive rebounds for Shawnee, for the Wolverines. Shawnee, he just makes a bucket, and then he sprints to the half-court line to play defense. I think that was a huge pickup for the Wolverines. The guy just gives so much effort on the team.
So much effort, so much energy, and so much skill.
Exactly.
As Cup is going to shoot a 15-footer, and it's off the iron. Rebound by Williams, out to Mike Smith. Mike Smith with pace, tried to find Brandon Johns, but he wasn't paying attention. Out to Shawnee in the corner. Shawnee's going to try one. Struggling a little there, and we got an offensive foul. It looks like it's going to be on Terrence Williams once again.
Yeah, Terrence picking up his second foul in the last minute. Again, just another, I don't know, this is a Michigan basketball team that plays with a lot of effort, and it really, really shows. I mean, even Terrence Williams is a guy. It hasn't been a prolific scorer at all by any means for the Wolverines, but he does the little things really well. He comes in, plays defense, rebounds, a lot like Shawnee in that sense, maybe less athletic, but just gives a ton of effort.
As Bowie's going to go into the lane, kicks it out to Nance in the corner. Nance throws up the 3.
Yeah, clear foul. Looks like that's going to be called on
Audige.
Audige.
It's going to be the team's 6th.
Yeah, 10 minutes to go in this one. Michigan's up 69-43. We'd like to thank you for tuning into WCBN Sports, our broadcast of Michigan basketball. It's been a good one here in Ann Arbor. See if the Wolverines can close this one out.
Mike Smith finds Isaiah Livers on the wing. Livers throws up a three. No good. Rebound by Brandon Johns Jr. Sean D, they're going to kick it back out to Mike Smith, and Coach Juwan Howard's going to tell him the instructions. Brandon Johns comes, sets the screen, and we got an offensive foul on Brandon Johns for the moving screen. Team's 6th foul. Quickly picking up a couple of fouls.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see why Juwan has Dickinson out for so long right now. I mean, Dickinson hasn't been on the floor since the 16-minute mark. No, excuse me, the 14-minute mark in the second half. So it's been 5 minutes of game time where Hunter's been out. Yeah, Terrence Williams with a beautiful rebound, man. He just does a lot of little things for this team.
Mentioned Hunter Dickinson, and look who's going up to the scores table. Brandon Johns is going to try his luck from behind the arc. He hits it.
You know, he was in a situation last year when Isaiah Livers was out for so long. He kind of took over that Livers role, that extending play four kind of guy that can stretch the floor. And he definitely has that skill in his trait.
Michigan now leads by 29 with just 9 minutes left in the second half. Here's Audige driving baseline, kicks it out to Barron for the three, and Barron hits the three.
I'm going to beat the drum again. That was another play where Shawnee Brown was on the right wing, and the ball was all the way in the corner, and he went from the right wing to close out in the corner. The guy still hit the three, but just more effort, man. That's more effort to little things that makes this Michigan basketball team good.
Brandon Johns on the ground, try to cross up. Pete Nance, Mike Smith controlling the ball, finds Johns in the lane, and Cup is going to stick his hand in there and poke it away from Johns, and there's going to be 9 left on the shot clock. Michigan with the inbound.
Yeah, again, Michigan and Juwan still putting the pedal to the metal right now. Checking in right now, Hunter Dickinson, Eli Brooks, and Franz Wagner. She got the starting 5 on the floor, up 26 with 8.5 to go. So like I said, Juwan wants his guys to get a lot of run, and they're getting a lot of run right now. They got 6 guys on the floor. That is quite illegal.
For sure. They're only almost up by 30.
Why
not go on the power play? Franz driving baseline, and he's going to draw the foul on Robbie Barron, who gets called for the block. Referee signaling that he was in the restricted area, and it looks like Franz is going to go through the free throw line.
Yeah, nice little Euro step by Franz there. He's faking that pass out to the corner, drives that right foot at the ground, the Euros to his left, tries to go up for a shot, but Barron, like you said, was in that cylinder, getting 2 free throws for the Wolverines. See if they can capitalize at the stripe again.
I believe it's a 1-and-1. Is it going to be 1-and-1 or 2?
That's right, 1-and-1. If you're right, that is
1-and-1 because this is team's 7th foul. First one's up, sinks it.
Curious though, they could have called that a shooting foul on the block, but
it was borderline. Yeah. I mean, the ball was still around his stomach, so
yeah, it's close. It's close.
That's when Barron put his hands in there and
regardless, Franz makes the first free throw, and he's getting 2 anyway.
Franz makes the first free throw. Second one's up, and it is good, and Michigan now leads 74-46 with 8:20 left in the second half.
It's a dominating performance by the Wolverines.
Now here comes Cup with the ball. Is going to find Young, kicks it out to Bowie in the corner. Young sets the screen, pick and roll. He's going to go up against Dickinson in the post, gets the nice spin, and Young goes up and gets the 2 points.
I think Young kind of got away with the travel right
there.
I
think
looks
so
like
too.
He lost his pivot foot. Was not called, and they convert for the basket there.
I don't think he really expected Dickinson to bite for it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Young got the 2 points. Yep. Now Dickinson's going to go to work on the post, kicks it out to Eli Brooks for the 3. Eli hits it. Eli Brooks with the 3.
Eli right now 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. Just a shooting clinic here by Eli. Again, Michigan still shooting at a 48% clip from the 3-ball land.
Eli Brooks now has 14 points on the night, and he gets the rebound right back down the floor, looking to extend that lead. Finds Hunter Dickinson. Eli controls the ball, drives into the lane, and he's going to too many steps.
You know, that was one of those situations. Hunter had the ball on the top of the key. You're up 29, big man. Shoot the rock. I want to see you shoot the 3-ball there. Showcase those skills with the jump shot, but again, hands it off to Brooks, and Brooks gets called with the travel.
Your score right now is Michigan 77, Northwestern 48 with 7:15 left in regulation. In some other news, the Jets have parted ways with Adam Gase, reported by Adam Schefter.
Hey, I mean, I'm not a Jets fan. We got a couple members of WCBN who are Jets fans, notably Charlie Goodman, a good win. And I'm sure right now he is dancing in his family room because that dude is the Grim Reaper of all fantasy football production for Jets fans. That dude he's just bad. So him getting fired, I'm not shocked one bit.
Yeah, as the NFL wraps up the season in Week 17, and we'll see quite a few more names tomorrow get cut. Their key cards will not work to the building tomorrow.
Nope.
And could we potentially see Jim Harbaugh's name thrown around? There's a lot of speculation around the football program.
Yeah, Bruce Feldman from CBS Sports did kind of drop that little bit of news for us, saying that Michigan is expected to extend Jim Harbaugh through 2026. But them not making this announcement until after the begin of the coaching circuit for NFL always has me just a little bit. I'm speculating a little bit. It's a little suspect to me. Yeah. I'm curious to see what comes around Monday. There's been a couple guys. John Bacon of note has said that. We can't jump to conclusions knowing that coaching circuits are out on Monday. Who knows what job is going to be available?
Yeah, if you get a really good offer, like maybe the Jacksonville job where you have
Trevor Lawrence,
you have the first overall pick, a lot of cap space, and you're in Florida, no state income tax.
Exactly.
It's a really appealing job.
Or could he go back to the West Coast and take over for the Los Angeles Chargers and Justin Herbert? I mean, that could be a really good spot for him. I know I've heard that he's been interested in the Chargers job. But that seems like a perfect fit to me, going back to the West Coast. I mean, he's been a West Coast guy basically his entire life since he's been done with the Wolverines.
He's in California currently on vacation.
Exactly. Exactly. You never know.
We don't want to spread any theories, but
again, it sounds like the momentum is leaning towards Harbaugh putting his name on the dotted line to come back to Michigan through 2026. But as everyone always says, don't start cheering to the fat lady sings until that name is on that dotted line. Who knows what could happen?
Money talks, and for the right job, you can go. But sounds like the Harbaugh is ready to re-sign at Michigan, but with a lower base salary and lower buyouts for both sides.
Yep.
Back to the action. Michigan has Mike Smith, Franz Wagner, Hunter Dickinson, Eli Brooks, and Isaiah Livers on the floor. For Northwestern, we got Miller Cup, Pete Nance, Chase Audige, Ryan Young, and Ryan Greer. Young controlling the ball on the post, guarded by Dickinson, brings it back out, finds Miller Cup, who's going to drive baseline, tries to kick it out, but it's blocked by Eli. And it looks like Eli's foot was out of bounds, and they're going to award the ball to Northwestern with 5 left on the shot clock.
They got a triple stack here on the left block. I don't think they're going to roll out if they're going to that box set. Got to take a quick shot here for Northwestern. 5 on the shot
clock. Going to be inbounded to Ryan Young, who goes to work against Hunter Dickinson, kicks it out to Audige. Audige throws up the 3, rims in and out. Rebound Isaiah Livers.
Just look at Hunter Dickinson blocking out a guy that's 3 or 4 inches shorter than him. That's just fundamental basketball. You love to see it. I'm sure that's kind of stuff that Juwan Howard preaches every single day at practice.
Livers with control of the ball, surveying his options, finds Eli Brooks on the wing, throws it down to Hunter Dickinson, who throws it across into the corner. Eli Brooks kicks it out to Livers. Livers is going to drive into the paint, and he just gets stuffed.
Yeah, tough defense there by Northwestern. Drew that double team on Hunter Dickinson. He was kind of forced. Again, we saw that Stafford pass coming back, sidearm, left-handed, got it over to Smith and jumped it off to Livers, got to the lane. It was just great help defense there by the Wildcats. It's kind of the defensive momentum that they haven't had, or defensive play that they haven't had in a long time.
Robbie Barron checking back in for the Northwestern Wildcats, and he receives the ball, guarded by Franz Wagner, who finds Cup. Cup from the elbow, and Cup gets 2 for the Wildcats.
Again, Isaiah Livers keeps leaving his feet on defense. That's the 3rd or 4th time you've seen him fall for one of those ball fakes, and it just leaves your defense so vulnerable when you have one guy that's basically just out of the play, and that's what's happened multiple times for Michigan.
Michigan up by 27 with 5:50 left in the second half. Franz with control of it in the corner, finds Dickinson down low, who gets double teamed, kicks it back out to Franz. Franz takes 1 dribble, shoots it, and off the iron, rebound Northwestern. Ryan Greer throws it off to Barron, almost picked off by Livers, but they find Cup baseline. He throws a floater up, and it's going to be rebounded by Young, and he gets fouled, and he's going to go back to the free throw line.
Yeah, good positioning there by Young, excuse me. Nice little box out right in front of Eli Brooks. Puts a shot back up in the basket there. Going for the old-fashioned three-point play here is Young.
And Ryan Young completes the old-fashioned three-point play. Michigan leads 77-53 with just 5:25 left in the second half. Mike Smith with the ball finds Franz down low to Dickinson, and he goes to work, tries to get the slam, and he's going to get fouled.
Again, Hunter Dickinson getting the ball with great positioning. Like I said, that it's almost that back foot, the foot in the shoulder that's closest to the hoop. He's keep making sure that that's outside of the defender. As soon as he gets that ball and he hits the easy drop step with that same exact foot, he tries slamming home over two people. It's just high IQ stuff that I'm sure Juwan Howard preaches every single day at practice, that Hunter Dickinson is really, really bringing to the court.
You know, it's tough. You know, we go back to my playing days back in seventh grade middle school basketball, playing down low
back
on
in
the
1986 when I played in middle school basketball.
Back to the post. You know, I couldn't get my footwork right. It's probably the reason why I'm not in the NBA right now.
That's right. For me, it's a whole bunch of different excuses. I'm gonna blame it on my 5'9", 215 pound frame.
My career ended even before I made it to the high school. Hunter Dickinson misses on the second one. Rebound by Northwestern. Michigan leads 77-53 with 5:16 left to play. Chase Aldige with control of the ball, guarded by Eli Brooks. Now it switches off to Livers. They're going to get Young with the ball at the top of the key. They're going to try to find, looks like, Gaines. Gaines goes into the lane, but is stopped by Brooks. Kicks it back out to Greer, who's guarded by Franz. 2 left on the shot clock, and Franz gets the block right there.
Number 5 for Franz Wagner. Again, just being so disruptive on the defensive end. And here we go. You got your wish here. Oh, maybe a little too early. All of the freshmen and the walk-ons are walking to the table. That's a little too early for Juwan. He told them all to go back towards the bench. We're going to have a couple more minutes to the starters here.
Yeah, the only freshman that's going to check in is going to be Terrence Williams II.
You got the scores table. You have Jace Howard, the son of Juwan, Adrian Nunez, Jaron Falls, and then Zabit Jackson, the 6'4" point guard.
And Mike Smith finds Hunter Dickinson for the slam.
Again, Dickinson, 17 points now for the Wolverines, has really turned around his performance.
Now, Cup controls the ball, guarded by Franz. He's going to go baseline, loses control of it. Eli Brooks picks up the ball, and Michigan's in transition. Back to Franz. Franz drives baseline, finds Dickinson for another slam.
It's just getting too easy at this point for Hunter. Gets himself into 19 points, 15 in the second half. Again, just such a nice performance from the Wolverines. You gotta look at this. The stat line that really impresses me right now, though, you gotta look at Franz Wagner. 14 points with 10 rebounds and 5 block shots to go with 2 steals. I mean, he's been disruptive on defense. He's been efficient on offense. That's a guy that has so many tools in his toolbox, and he's displaying all of them today.
As you mentioned, Dickinson leads the team with 19 points, Franz with 10 rebounds, and Mike Smith with 6 assists. 4:10 left here in Ann Arbor. Michigan leads 81-53, and the few fans that are in the stands are pretty happy. And walking into the stadium tonight, ushers let us know that there would be less than 100 fans in the stands tonight, and tickets were split up among both teams. And currently, only family members are allowed into the stadium, but it is 2021. Yep. We're off to a good start, and we can only go up from here.
Exactly, and there's a good mix of Northwestern fans and the Michigan fans. Like you said, I think it's limited to only family. I believe it was the case for football. I believe each player had 2 or 3 tickets they could give out something of that measure, and they hand them out to family members.
Yeah, and that's definitely the right move. These players have sacrificed a ton, you know.
They're not just the players, the families have sacrificed a ton
family
too,
and
they deserve to get to watch whether it's their son, brother, nephew, uncle, it doesn't matter. They get to watch their loved one, you know, ball out on the court. Again, we would like to thank you, all the listeners tuning in right now. It's 8153. You're listening to 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. WCBN Sports. We're glad to bring this Michigan basketball broadcast to you. We got 4:10 left in the game. Wolverines up by 28. It's been an exciting one here in Ann Arbor.
For sure, and Juwan Howard has cleared the starting lineup, bringing in the young guys. We got Jace Howard, Jaron Faldiz, Adrian Nunez, Terrence William II, and Zeb Jackson for these Wolverines. Just a fantastic night.
Yeah, it's cool. You look at all the guys on the court right now. These are the I guess you could say, quote unquote, the worst, the practice squad, the scrubs on the team. And you look at Adrian Nunez, who, you know, had some run last year. He was actually an opening day starter, who's a pretty good three-point shooter, has skills himself. Zeb Jackson is a top 50 recruit in the country last year. He's a freshman. Jace Howard is a three-star, not a scrub by any means at all. The son of a coach who's obviously doing very well at Michigan. Jaron Falls is a transfer who's a walk-on right now, who is on scholarship. And then you have Terrence Williams, who is another top 100 recruit. So the future's bright here for the Wolverines. We got three freshmen on the floor right now. They're all ranked in the top 150 last year, and they're going to have a chance to showcase their skills in a ranked matchup here in Ann Arbor.
They got 4 minutes and 10 seconds to show what they got.
There's still a few other pieces on that bench that really can make an impact. Braden Wade is a guy I looked at, a transfer from the Tecumseh, I believe, a really good on-ball point guard defensively and has a lot of skills to showcase offensively as well.
Ryan Young with controlling the ball finds Cup, who's going to try to drive, but finds Gaines in the corner. Cup loops around, another 15-footer, and he gets it. You know, he's really found success with that 15-foot shot anywhere around the perimeter.
Yeah. This is a guy I'm really excited to watch, Zeb Jackson, this sweet little lefty. Again, 6'3", 6'4" combo guard. He has a lot to offer for the Wolverines in the future. He might have a big role in the team next year.
Zeb Jackson control the ball, goes into the lane, finds Falds, who's going to work against, try to go to work against Young, but a little too excited, forgot about the footwork.
Got a little happy feet down in the left block right there. Again, it's tough. These are your minutes to showcase what you got, and you know it's a tough. You got to remember too, Northwestern still has their starters on the court, so this is a ranked team that these guys are going up against right now.
Your score is 81-55 with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. Ty Berry controlling the ball, splits the defense, goes up, and he gets fouled, and he takes a hard hit.
Yeah, you can hear that one from up here. Definitely a hard play right there. Jaron Falls with the foul.
Thankfully, Ty Berry is up. Just looks like a little sore after that hit.
Get on the big screen right now. They're showing the weekend standouts in the Big Ten. Luka Garza, 27 points. Aaron Henry, the two guard from Michigan State, probably going to be a first-round pick, had 27 himself, a career high. And then Luka Robbins from Minnesota, 27 and 14 himself. So, again, a lot of talent around the Big Ten. It's going to be an interesting year in the conference.
Speaking about the Spartans, they will be hosting Rutgers, number 14, on Tuesday from the Breslin Center at 9 p.m. So, you know, the Spartans just came off a big win against Nebraska after a tough road loss against Minnesota. And, you know, the Spartans are trying to get back on track. And, you know, with Tom Izzo, you can never count them out.
Entering in for the Wolverines, the birthday man, C.J. Baird, the fifth-year walk-on here for the Wolverines. The guy that is famous for making that three against, who was that against against Texas A&M in the Sweet 16?
Zeb Jackson's going to test his luck, and he hits the shot.
Nice little corner jumper from the right corner. Sweet. Zeb, telling you, man, I'm excited for Zeb Jackson. I think he's going to be a real good player for the Wolverines. Could be a 3 or 4 year guy that's going to make a difference on the squad.
Looking at the bench, you know, they were happy to see Zeb when that ball went through the shot. So
a lot of length coming from Zeb Jackson, too. Like I said, he's a 6'4" combo guard. Can do a lot on and off the ball.
Here goes Audige, who tried to get a poster. And there's going to be a foul on Jaron Falds. That's going to be the team's 9th foul, so it's still going to be a 1-and-1. Or no, it was a shooting foul, so it's going to be 2 shots.
Again, on the floor right now for the Wolverines, you got Jace Howard, Zeb Jackson, Adrian Nunez, Jaron Falls, and the birthday man himself, C.J. Baird. Curious to see, you got Zeb going to be running the point, Baird and Nunez on the wings, with Jason Falls on the blocks.
As Audige sinks the first free throw. Second one's up, and it's good. And Michigan leads 83-57 with 2:35 left to play.
Curious to see what they draw for CJ here. You think they're going to try to give him a 3-point shot on his birthday?
You think Juwan would call a timeout, try to draw something up?
Think so.
Here goes Nunez controlling the ball in the right corner. He tried to throw it down low, but it's going to be deflected by Anthony Gaines. Michigan's going to maintain possession. 14 left on the shot clock.
Adrian Nunez, the popular TikTok guy around here in Ann Arbor. I think he has over like 500 TikToks or something like that. The guy's definitely not shy to be in front of the camera. Good ball players, got a good little jump shot too.
Got to have some fun when you're not in the gym.
Exactly.
Here's Baird with the ball.
Got some space. Nah, he passes it up.
Hits it out to Howard. Howard's going to go into the lane, and Howard got a little bit of contact, but too much off the rim. Rebound by Nunez. He misses it well, and Michigan's going to get penalized for a shot clock violation.
Man, I couldn't see the look on Jace's face, but I just know what his eyes were looking like. As soon as he got the ball in the wing, he was determined to get to the basket and score. Didn't work out for him, but you can see that young man was eager to get his first bucket of the game.
Yeah, you know, it means a lot for these guys. Regardless of the scoreline, they want to perform well on the court and potentially earn playing time down the road. As we have a stoppage on the court, it looks like it's going to be a foul against Michigan.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little hold off a screen by C.J. Baird. Again, that's a 10th team foul on the Wolverines. Northwestern will be going to the line for 2 shots.
1:56 left in the second half. Michigan leads 83-57 over Northwestern in this team's first matchup where both teams are ranked in the top 25.
83-58 here with the minute 56 to go. Again, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports. It's been a good one in Ann Arbor, and we're about 2 minutes out to the finish. Again, Zeb Jackson bringing the ball up for the Wolverines, a guy that's got a future here in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, bright young point guard for him. But he misses Jaron on the pick and roll. He had him wide open. But Howard's going to control the ball. They're going to throw it back in down low. Back to Howard. He goes up and score. Jace Howard is going to get fouled, and he's going to go through the free throw line.
Hunter Dickinson just went from the farthest spot on the bench all the way down to the baseline, just going absolute nuts for Jace Howard getting that and one. I mean, this bench is just alive, man. That's the other thing about this team. They just love playing with each other. Jace Howard comes on the walk-on and gets a big bucket, and everybody's going nuts.
Big bucket, but it misses the free throw. Rebound by Northwestern. Here comes Anthony Gaines with the ball, guarded by Jace Howard. Out to Audige with Nunez guarding him. He's going to go into the lane, turns and shoots off the backboard. Scrum, and Northwestern maintains the ball. 19 left on the shot clock. They're going to find Ryan Barron on the other side. He's going to throw up a 3, and Ryan Barron hits the 3. Or, correction, Ryan Greer. Zeb Jackson is going to be playing the point guard.
Again, you think they'll be looking to give C.J. Baird a shot. Here's to see what they're going to do here.
Jackson controlling the ball, trying to find something all the way across Jace Howard. Jace Howard is going to throw up a 3. Just off the iron, a little, not enough power on that shot.
Not enough arc on it. That was a line drive coming from Jace.
And here comes Anthony Gaines, who's going to drive into the paint and gets fouled, and he's going to go through the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Jace Howard out here eager to get some buckets. He's taking 3 shots in the 3 or 2 minutes he's played so far. 1 of 3 from the floor. Again, no shots coming up from C.J. Baird or Adrian Nunez. C.J. Baird actually is the guy who had an opportunity to get a couple minutes last year in the game, or I believe it was at Nebraska, where Xavier Simpson was suspended. Isaiah Livers was hurt. Eli Brooks had a broken nose. So they were really, really thin in the backcourt. So C.J. Baird came in, I believe he played 9 or 10 minutes. So you can tell that Jawan's got a lot of confidence in his abilities.
Gaines hits the first free throw. Second one is up, and it is through. 45 seconds left here. Michigan leads 85-64, and Zeb Jackson is playing the point guard, guarded by Ryan Greer. Finds C.J. Baird on the right wing.
He wants it. Step back.
Here's the three. C.J. just a little too much.
Oh!
It hits off the rim. And there's Jace Howard comes out with it, and shot clock is turned off. But it's turned back on because it was an offensive rebound. Yeah. Northwestern controls the ball, and shot clock is off. As Ty Berry throws a floater up, and Ty Berry hits it. And that should do it here from Ann Arbor with just 15 seconds left. Michigan will hold on to the ball and let the final ticks fall off.
85-66 is Jawan Howard. It's going to be celebrating another victory here in Ann Arbor. The final horn does blow. The Wolverines take this one 85-66, remaining undefeated in the Big Ten and in the country overall.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Michigan Wolverines stay undefeated. The Northwestern Wildcats get their second loss in Big Ten play. Let's take a look at some stats. Hunter Dickinson leads the team in scoring with 19. Franz Wagner, 10 rebounds. And Mike Smith with 6 assists. And as I mentioned, the rebounds, you just love to see the team just pause for a second before they head into the tunnel and wave to all the family members in the stands. And, it's just a cool sight to see.
Yeah, and this is a basketball team that's just really clicking on all cylinders right now. I mean, the final score is a 19-point game, but really this is a 26, 27-point game. We were talking about Hunter Dickinson, how he entered the second half with 4 points, and he left the game with 19, scoring 15 points in the second half, just really flexing the skills that he has both offensively and defensively. And I'll beat the drum again. I'm telling you, the footwork, the composure, the IQ, the little things like boxing out and positioning, those are the things that you can't teach a big. Those are decisions the big has to make, and Hunter Dickinson does all of that with the skills that he has. I mean, he's a special player. I don't know if he's going to be. I don't believe he'll be a one and done, but there's a real chance that Hunter Dickinson's going to be a 2 and done kind of guy. But I mean, we've seen a lot of bigs that haven't been able to translate their game from college basketball to the NBA. I mean, a couple names that come off the top of my list. Luka Garza is one who just doesn't have those defensive lateral skills that makes him test high in the NBA draft. But also the big guy from Purdue a couple years ago, Isaac Haas. Hunter Dickinson reminds me a lot of him. A really big body that's got good footwork and good ability to finish around the rim, but he's just a little slow in the pick and roll situations that might make Hunter Dickinson stay for a couple years. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Right now, he's one of the best players in the Big Ten, maybe one of the best players in the country.
Hunter Dickinson definitely leading the team in a lot of categories, and he's going to be a special player for these Wolverines. And your final score tonight is Michigan 85, Northwestern 66. The Wolverines will head on to the road where they will face the Minnesota Gophers on Wednesday night, and Northwestern. One second. Northwestern is going to go back home where they will face Illinois.
That's a nice ball game right there. Northwestern at home against a top 10 team. Ao DeSumo, and you got Kofi Coburn over there. It'll be a tough matchup for Northwestern. Again, good chance to bounce back, and just more excited to watch the Big Ten basketball, man. It's going to be a good year.
It's going to be a good year. Happy New Year, Andy.
Happy New Year to you, Amer.
That's going to do it for our broadcast. For Andy Laidlaw, I'm Amer Betkas. Your final score from Ann Arbor is 85-66. Michigan gets another win and remains undefeated. Have a good night, and go blue.